Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Kim Davis trials ended yesterday, resulting in a victory for some. And police found 73 dogs in a home after an anonymous tip was left.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6 o'clock on September 14th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, it's going to be a beautiful day once we get past some of that fog. I think it's scattered fog. What's that word?
Patchy fog.
Patchy fog across the region, but a beautiful day after that.
Yep, lots of sunshine behind that. It's going to be a great day to do anything outside. We've, of course, got our Power Up the Pantry food drive going on a little bit later on this morning, which you'll be over there in some live cut-ins at. There you go. All right, let's get into it this morning. And we're looking at Mount Vernon along I-75. We're going to continue to watch, again, some patchy, light, dense fog in some areas. Not too bad down there in Mount Vernon right now, but we're seeing some light traffic on the interstate. Temperatures, that is the biggest story this morning. I'm just waiting to see who's next because we've got Moorhead at 50, Hazard at 50, Clintwood's already dropped. They were at 50. They're down to 49, 46 in Irvin. Yeah, these are current temperatures, by the way, 48 in Williamsburg, and then we've got some low 50s across a big chunk of the area. So again, we'll just kind of keep an eye on things. 57 Logan and Harlan, some of the warmest spots in our region. Heading up to about 77 later this afternoon. Lots of sunshine. Very nice day to do anything outside, and don't forget, the Black Gold Festival starts in Hazard today if you're close for that. Olivia?
Brandon, thank you. Two men who sued former Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis are now being compensated after they were denied a marriage license by Davis back in 2015. Yesterday, we heard from both of their attorneys following the decision. Grayson Passamore has more after the 8-year-long legal battle.
It's a case most of the country has been following for almost a decade.
It's just complete vindication. They felt the weight of the world on them this week and for the last 8 years.
On July 6, 2015, former Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis denied David Ermold and David Moore a marriage license. They would go back twice and each time be denied.
They never wanted this. They just wanted to be married. They had been in a committed relationship for 18 years.
After years of setbacks, appeals, and delays, the federal trial began Monday in Ashland to decide how much money Davis might owe to same-sex couples. A judge had ruled back in 2015 that the former clerk violated the couple's 14th Amendment right to marry.
It's something that they've lived with. It's something they're going to live with for the rest of their life.
Now both couples' cases were tried at the same time by two separate juries. Joe Buckles and Michael Gartland are the co-counsel representing Ermold and Moore. They say their clients finally found justice. They were both awarded the $50,000 they asked for.
But to see David Ermold literally cried. It was like, I don't know how to describe it. It'd be like winning the lottery for most people.
Davis's attorneys with Liberty Counsel say they do plan to appeal the decision. In a statement, they say, quote, the Ermold jury verdict is unsound and easily sets this case up for an eventual route to the U.S. Supreme Court. Going on to say if SCOTUS takes the Ermold case, religious freedom will be central to the argument. The other couple, James Yates and Will Smith, were denied a marriage license 5 times by Davis, but the jury on their case awarded them nothing.
I don't think justice was served in that other case.
Gartland and Buckles say for now they'll continue to celebrate Wednesday's outcome. In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WYMT Mountain News.
Gartland and Buckles are also asking for their attorney fees to be paid for by Davis. They say after a judge makes this decision, Davis' team has 30 days to file an appeal. The Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter in Perry County takes in roughly 100 animals a week. With a much smaller number getting adopted each week, the shelter has been dealing with overcrowding. Earlier this week, 35 dogs were found in a van in Letcher County, leaving president of the shelter, Tony Vaughn, and staff working all week to find rescues to send the dogs to. Because Vaughn says the shelter is full and so are many across the country.
With everybody else having the same problem across the nation, it's kind of tough to get rescues to come in because they're also struggling to find places to place the animals because of the same circumstances.
He says only about 85 dogs are taken by rescues every 2 weeks. They are grateful for the help they are getting for the animals, but he says the community needs to step in order for a change to be made. Some of the dogs have already been taken by rescue groups, but Vaughn is hopeful the rest will be taken by other rescues or foster homes by today. Dozens of dogs were rescued from a Kentucky home, and now numerous rescue groups are being called to help. Police have charged the dog's owner, and he's agreed to surrender all of them. Officials say the case involves 73 dogs that were seized from an Estill County home. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has been gathering details on the disturbing case.
Neighbors say that it's been common to hear a lot of barking coming from a home on Kissy Branch Road, and complaints brought police out late Tuesday night.
We got an anonymous tip that there were 50 to 60 dogs in a home that were being neglected.
Police say they ended up finding 73 dogs in horrible conditions. Many had matted fur and were covered in fleas.
I think they had lived in the crates for quite some time in their own feces and urine. So they were very happy to have human interaction.
Only a few of the dogs were brought to the animal shelter because it was nearly already full.
So we are working with vets, local vets. We're working with rescues all around, trying to get other rescues in here.
Animal rescue groups were called in to assist. They worked all night long through very early this morning, about 5 to 6 hours, responding to what Paws for the Cause describes as a red alert situation. Estill County deputies were assisted by state police, and they arrested Delbert Weber on second-degree animal cruelty charges. He agreed to surrender the dogs, described as Maltese mixed and Maltipoos.
I believe it was breeding. It started like that. The owner would not disclose a lot of information to us willingly. So that's why it's kind of still under investigations.
The case does bring with it a lot of expense, and for now, officials say it'll be handled through the local judge executive's office. In Estill County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Animal control officials say all the dogs will have to receive quite a bit of medical care and treatment before they can be adopted out. Election day in Kentucky is now less than 2 months away. Candidates running in November have filed campaign finance reports. So far, Governor Andy Beshear has raised $15 million during the gubernatorial campaign, compared to $2 million for Republican candidate and Attorney General Daniel Cameron. So far, Governor Beshear has already spent $10.8 million and has another $4.2 million on hand. Cameron has spent $1.4 million and has $1.4 million more in cash on hand. WYMT and Kentucky Power are joining forces again to restock our local food pantries. You can help us out by dropping off canned and non-perishable food items today from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at any of the 3 locations. On your screen in Hazard, go to the ARH Medical Mall on Black Gold Boulevard. In Pikeville, the Kentucky Power Service Center on North Mayo Trail, and in Ashland at Kentucky Power on Winchester Avenue. People from at least 30 different countries are in Lexington for the annual September yearling sale at Keeneland. In its 80th year, more than 4,200 horses are up for sale during the course of the next few days. Buyers coming in from all over the world to place their bids. The third session got underway yesterday morning around 11, marking the first day of a 2-day book. The auction is even streamed online for those who could not attend or had to watch from afar.
This side of the business is what pays for everything on the racetrack, a lot of it anyway. So I think we've been a little bit of a behind closed doors for a number of years, and the local community have not necessarily recognized this as an activity that is critically important to our local economy.
The event is free to attend and open to the public. Visitors can walk the grounds and stables and get a peek behind the curtain of the industry. The sale runs through September 23rd.
6:09 here on this Thursday morning, Friday Eve, and we're taking a live look at Jenkins Mountain, US 119, US 23. No major issues up there. A little bit chilly this morning. Temperatures in the 40s in Irvin, Williamsburg, and Clintwood, 50 in Moorhead and in Hazard, and we're seeing temperatures low to mid 50s most locations. The exceptions: 57 Monticello, Harlan, Logan, 56 in Pikeville right now. 77 this afternoon. A gorgeous day underway with lots of sunshine a little bit later on after this fog dissipates a little later this morning. Olivia?
Thank you, Brandon, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, the manhunt in Pennsylvania came to an end yesterday after police found the suspect armed with a rifle.